What's up guys, welcome to Freedive Passion. In today's video we have 4 very experienced coaches with 4 unique approaches to freediving, to their own training and to helping you achieve your goals. Today we're going to give our top tip, our best piece of advice for beginner freedivers.
Top tip for beginner freedivers, apart from trust your instructor, because they're not actually doing anything bad to you, they're actually just telling you things that they know that you will make you realise what you can do. But my top tip for any newcomer coming out there is absolutely relax. Really get as close to falling asleep on any of the exercises, on any of your statics, your dynamics, your constant weights. You really want to just let everything go and be the laziest freediver out there.
Okay, maybe a top tip for a beginner freediver is to be smart, listen to your instructor, try to really learn, be open to the information that the instructor is passing on to you. We are probably in this crazy times where the amount of information is crazy, the speed is crazy, so everyone is just like jumping through everything, courses, da, 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 blah, blah, blah. And what I bump into on a daily basis is that people are lacking of fundamental knowledge, and usually it's being delivered during the first courses when we are beginners. We can and all the information, everything is in the course. It's standard, it's obligation for the instructor to pass on this information, and I'm sure that every instructor is passing it on in the way he understands and so on, but it doesn't matter how good is the teacher. If the student is not listening, if the student is not patient enough, is not attentive enough, it's really hard to pass on something. And I would suggest to be a little bit more open, eyes open, ears sharp, watch the instructor, because you can learn a lot from how instructor moves, what he does. Listen to all the advices, some tips and little small tricks from the experience. Every instructor has something very valuable to pass on. And if we give enough attention, we will learn what we need to learn.
Freediving generally, to people who aren't particularly experienced in the sport, it gets grouped with the extreme sports. Now I've done quite a few extreme sports, and yeah, there's one part of me that loves extreme sports, that loves that adrenaline kick, kind of living on the edge. I totally get it, and I've pushed my limits in some of them sports and I loved it. But my top piece of advice would be that freediving is absolutely not an extreme sport. The rushes and the feelings you get from them sports are in no way similar to how it feels as you're getting better and better at freediving. Now in the beginning, when you haven't done much diving, it can feel like an extreme sport because we're only human and you do get scared, you do get that adrenaline rush. But then the more you dive, and if you become interested in progressing, that adrenaline rush is the worst thing that could happen to you. Even a slight inkling of fear for 2 seconds is enough to ruin your dive, or even once you start to progress deeper and become closer to your limit, that can make the difference between blacking out and coming up totally fresh. So as you dive, as you progress, you need to be very much aware of how the dive actually felt. So let's say even for instance during the breathe up, if you have fear about the dive or apprehension about the dive, then that dive is too deep for you. If during the dive at some point you feel bad, you feel nervous, you feel like maybe you can't do it, that dive is too deep for you. Even if you get back up to the surface and you are fine, completely fine, which I think happens quite a lot. Like people will have these negative emotions during the dive, but they did the dive, they got back up to the surface and they were fine, so they see that as a good dive, a successful dive. But if you keep progressing that way, sooner or later you're going to hit a wall, and it can be a brick wall which you won't be able to get through, or you're going to have to do a lot of work to get through. If you were just aware of these negative emotions that have been creeping into your diving and found the cause, worked on it, and then got over that problem and then progressed in a comfortable manner, there's no reason that you'll ever have to hit one of these walls. Or if you do, it's going to be a pretty easy fix for you to get past it. So yeah, my top tip, it should feel easy no matter how deep you're going.
One tip, because I like to speak about this longer, really.
Yeah.
Keep it personal, and see that freediving does not equal static dynamic constant weight, because this is a perception many people get easily when they start. They have maybe a good experience and then think how to grow it, and when in the back of the mind or in front, represented through the instructor, the challenge is understood as diving longer, diving deeper, diving further, then you have identified the competitive disciplines, and then you will practice this, and through this you will have set functions which are solved technically by definition, and this is kind of sealing this idea of it's technical, even though for me, for beginners, it's just following for quite a long time, it can be a long time, to see how it's non-technical. And for this you need nowadays it's an alternative freediving definition, which is not static dynamic constant weight or performing underwater or doing whatever, but swimming underwater in a simple way. And this is easily misunderstood as a beginner advice. It's for sure, I mean it as advice for beginners, but I see how this brings experienced freedivers to a new level, to produce this as a base of practice.
Alright, that's all we've got time for today, guys. I've got to say thank you to Gus, Brian and Andreas. They're super experienced guys, very intelligent people. Take their advice to heart. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like, share and subscribe. That's the best thing you can do to help support this channel. Also, if you want a cool t-shirt, we've got a few t-shirts on sale. You'll be able to find the link in the description. And until next time, guys, take it easy and dive safe.